Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Herd Fit Podcast with Dr. Sam Marie and myself, Coach David Syvertson. This podcast is aimed at helping anyone and everyone looking to enhance their healthy lifestyle through fitness, nutrition, and most importantly, mindset. All right, welcome back to the Herd Fit Podcast. I am Coach David Syvertson. I'm here with my co-host, Dr. and Coach Sam Marie. Just got done with bar-facing burpees and thrusters, and the guy's still smiling. I love that. And we have a very special repeat guest here on the Herd Fit Podcast, someone that Sam and I both look up to a lot in the gym business. Tim and his wife, who is not here, Aaron Carroll from 908 Athletics. Again, catalyst to CrossFit in New Jersey. One of the longest, if not the longest standing CrossFit in New Jersey, one of the longest in the world. Tim, my man, what's up?
Thanks for having me back, guys. I'm super excited to be on this. I know we were talking a little bit a few months ago, Dave, about trying to get back on it. I just love having these conversations, especially with other longtime affiliate owners that have kind of been through the mud like us.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Still trekking through the mud. Tim, how long has it been now? Every now you guys give your birthday message every year, your anniversary message, and I'm like, oh my gosh, how long has it been?
So October 3rd was 16 years.
Wow, 16 years. I want to get a list. I wish CrossFit would publicize a list of when every affiliate started, because I have to imagine that's one of the longest standing CrossFits that have actually made it through to this point.
Well, when we opened up, I forget our affiliate number exactly, but it was under the 1,000 mark. I want to say we were like maybe in the 800s. So you have to imagine of those 800 before me, like, what percentage of them are still open, right? So
yep.
I think we're definitely on the longer end. I think in New Jersey, Montclair, Gorilla Fitness Montclair, CrossFit Hoboken for sure. I know those two affiliated before us, but yeah, it's wild to think 16 years though. I honestly never thought it'd get to this point when I opened it up. So
yeah, and I think I've said this a few times, and just to blow smoke up your ass a little bit, the messaging that you can give us owners, but someone that's been doing this for 10, 11 years, people that have been doing it for 1 or 2 years, and people that are going to affiliate or on the fence, should they affiliate, should they de-affiliate? I think the conversations that I have with Tim are always beneficial. We do try to get together a couple times a year now. We work out and we get to try to talk after, and we kind of trade some ideas, and that's kind of what we want to have you on for. I think just a wealth of knowledge. I kind of want to listen to you and Sam, I want us to both touch on some of this new marketing that CrossFit is now throwing out there. And it doesn't need to be, a hit piece. We're not throwing shade at anyone. But from our perspective, and I'll say it, that I don't think CrossFit has really done a ton to help us grow as a local affiliate. Is it their job? That can be debated. I'm not someone that will blame them for shortcomings, but I'm also not going to give them the credit if we grow. But there are accessories and supplements that CrossFit can provide affiliates that can help us push the needle or help us spread the message to people that live in our area. And then once we get our hands on them, now it's on us. It's not on them. And I've always felt that kind of responsibility as a coach and gym owner. But without diving too deep into the early years, right? What is CrossFit to you now as an owner, as an athlete? Is it a community? Is it a gym? Is it a workout program? What exactly is it if someone asks you on the street?
This question's for me. Is Sam going first?
That's a useful question.
Go ahead, Tim.
I think that initially when I started it, I saw the community side of things, but clearly I was obsessed with like the fitness modality and working out. And while I still do it, 3 or 4 days a week now, it's certainly much more about the community. And I know that word is just thrown around so much, but, and it's hard to explain to someone that hasn't been a part of it. But when you are a part of a gym, and we've had clients now, we still have a client from day one who's not a family member or anything like that. She's been there 16 years. We've got several, I'd say 40 plus 10-year members. So, these people know each other really well, like maybe better than their colleagues, maybe some of them know each other better than their own family,
Yeah.
So there's these amazing relationships that, I hate to say it, but like maybe these people stay longer because of the people in the gym versus wanting to do the workouts that we're programming. And, you know, I mean, it's not a knock against CrossFit or against us, but I do think that the bonds that form in the gym keep people coming back. So, you know, I think community is where I would land on that one.
And that is a tough message to deliver someone that wants to ask you about what this CrossFit gym is, because a lot of people have viewed fitness, especially global gym goers, of just exercise, getting the pump, getting some cardio in, building some muscle. If you bring up community to them right away, that I've had in some cases, that's like a turnoff. They're like, wait, what? So it is a cult. Oh, I've read this about on Instagram or on YouTube or that it's a cult. I don't want that. Sam, what has changed for you in terms of what you thought or what you viewed CrossFit as 10 years ago versus now? A, all the experience. B, now you own an affiliate. What do you think CrossFit is if someone brought up asked you at a party or on the street?
Yeah, I was thinking about what Tim said right now about it being community, and that is 100% true. But as you said, I'm a minority owner now at Bison. I've been in for 10 plus years, and at the end of the day, we are running businesses. Dave, you're a business owner. Tim, you're a business owner. And as much as we do rely on community for our business, and that is probably one of the strongest draws as a business, at the end of the day, we got to take home money. We got to pay our, employees. We have to pay rent. We have to feed our kids. And the community helps us do that. But if we're not profitable, if we're not growing, if this is not thriving as a business, then we will die, just like many CrossFit affiliates have in New Jersey. And we all know a number of great CrossFit affiliates over the past 10, 14 years that had amazing community, that were really good, that ended up going defunct. And so I think we're at a crossroads now. And as great as we love our clients, our friends, family who are at our gym as a community, we're a business.
Sam, I agree with you. The one thing I would say, and this is just like anecdotally, I don't know the numbers for every CrossFit gym, but I see a lot of CrossFit gyms that have been in existence for a while with like 60, 70 members, and they're still like grinding to get by, and it's not profitable, and they have another business, or another job, and they've been around for a while. So then that, like, that's the one like caveat I'd say to your point is, that how is that gym surviving? Because it's not a great business. And I would venture to guess that a lot of CrossFit gyms, the owners are not making enough money where other people outside of it would say, hey, that seems worth it.
Yeah. That's a good point, Tim. And we can go into, like, I would love to have more conversations about this. And I think a lot of people would benefit from, why is that? Why can some gyms get to 200, 300 members and some can't get to 100? They both have good, solid, tight-knit communities, and a lot of them have good coaching and programming, and there's never one answer. But what a lot of gym owners that are struggling or do go up and down the roller coaster, at some point, you are going to bring up CrossFit HQ, the lack of stability in the leadership roles there. Who are the actual leaders of CrossFit? Some of the controversy, but something I keep my finger on the pulse of that CrossFit affiliate Facebook group. And I would say once a month, someone brings up, what does CrossFit do for us? I'll be honest with you, we've had that discussion as owners. What is it actually doing for it? Is the CrossFit name that we pay for every single year a check that just increased by 50%? Is it truly worth it? And that can be debated. But I actually do think there is value from CrossFit HQ. And I don't know if I'm in the minority or majority there. Don't really care either. I do think there's value there. And they have put a lot of effort into the past 2-3 years of helping affiliates with their affiliate playbook. Some of it applies to us, some of it does not. I'm not sure how many people actually use it. But recently, they just came out with a rather significant, aggressive marketing campaign. And it really leaned into what CrossFit has been over our tenure, I would say. And Tim and Aaron have been doing this much longer than me and Sam, for athlete side, coaching side, owner side. do you remember back in those early days what you truly leaned on from not just the CrossFit name, but the CrossFit Games helped us grow because it looked cool, it got popular. But Pukey the Clown, really hard stuff. People in their 20s wanting to do really hard things, and it was kind of this like rebel mentality. You see this, you know, I'll say it, fuck the quick fix, CrossFit is the cure. They put that on their Instagram.
Yeah.
Does that lean back into what you thought it was or what they were trying to project back in the early days?
I don't know if there was that polished of a marketing effort back then. You know, I think it was the garage gym, you know, rough around the edges, warehouse kind of stuff. And of course, I thought that was super cool. You know, it was, there were not a lot of other gyms that were like that whole, like, you know, warehouse box where you just go in and you're hitting these crazy workouts that you've never done before. So I think that the messaging about, you know, it takes really hard work to get results is something that anyone could agree with in the fitness space, CrossFit or not, you know, like eating really well and working out and recover, all that stuff. Like none of that stuff is easy at all. So I do like it. I just think like what you said with Pukey the Clown and just kind of the early days messaging, which was kind of like, I don't know, I'm trying to figure out how to put it, but you know, it seemed like the few that were at the top, you know, Glassman, Castro and them, there was this like pompous attitude, right? Like we know fitness. Nobody else knows fitness. Like, fuck them. You know what I mean? Sorry for cursing. You know, like the NSCA stuff that happened, you know, going against like Coca-Cola, like that's I mean, just, they were, I don't like that like conceited behavior at all. It's just not something I ever jive with. So I do like this marketing message a little bit better. I just, it feels, you know, I said it earlier before we started the show, a day late and a dollar short kind of thing. Like, I don't know if it's going to truly, someone's going to say, oh, you know what? I really want to do hard work. I'm going to go try a CrossFit gym.
Yeah. Sam, I mean, that, and I think, honestly, I think Tim speaks for the majority in that it's a cool message that we that love CrossFit and we love training hard, we can lean into it. But the problem with a lot of CrossFit affiliates that we are talking about right now, they're either stuck at a certain member base or they're declining, de-affiliating, not making enough money. Tim asked before, is it truly worth it? Because it is a grind, right? Early mornings, late nights, weekends, holidays, everything, right? Is it truly worth it if you're not making the money? At some point, passion can run out and you might not just like it that much yourself anymore. So what can you do to solve those issues? And it's getting new people in the door. And this is the polar opposite of what they did in the late Glassman days of filming old people in living rooms picking up milk jugs. Right? That was an attempt at saying this is for everyone. You could do this at home and it's very functional, right? Now it's put Tia, jacked, ripped, tatted up, sweaty people in a filter with a picture and a filter on it that makes it look really cool and badass. But the question is, the people that don't want to go to a CrossFit right now, they're too intimidated. Does that make them want to go? At the end of the day, that is what any sort of marketing campaign should be. So Sam, do you think that speaks to them and helps them push into the gym or push them away?
Well, I think that's what we should be asking the marketing directors of CrossFit. So when you market and you start a marketing campaign, obviously you have a demographic, you have a target audience, you have people that you want to speak to. And we're OG, I will call us OG. It speaks to us, but is that who they were directed? They were directing this campaign towards? Was it us or was it new people? I mean, fitness is growing by leaps and bounds. Okay. The fitness industry is certainly, there are more and more people engaged in it. I see kids from my kids' age, you know, in their 20s, and they are all working out in some form or another in a way that I don't think I ever did when I was a kid. The athletes in my generation certainly worked out, but nowadays, non-athletes, everybody is doing something, I feel like. And so I'm going to switch it around and ask you, do you think the CrossFit marketing directors directed this towards us, which I don't think is very helpful, or were they thinking about the new people that they wanted to get in the door? And if they weren't thinking about the new people that were getting in the door, what do you think they should be doing in terms of like trying to reach those people?
Yeah, I mean, so Tim, let me on these kind of debatable topics. I always like to talk from both perspectives, and I want to talk about it from the perspective of maybe CrossFit was looking at it to almost kick the ass of affiliate owners, because you can tell right now there's a wavering passion with a lot of old gym owners, right? And some of it's like, hey, my business is not doing well. Is it worth it? Part of it's also like, I don't want to do this hard stuff anymore. And we know that we set the tone, whether you like that or not. And we've talked about that, Tim. Like, if I take a step back from competing or trying really hard, Sam just did a go dark workout at the gym, and we just talked about, do you really?
I didn't go very dark.
I want to go dark on burpees and thrusters. Like, do I really feel like I need to?
Right.
And so that, to me, and I've been there before, and I know I'm going to be there again, and I know you guys will be too. Maybe this message is guys, it's on you. Maybe this message is for owners to be like, hey, if you're going to be a CrossFit affiliate and you want to lean into what made it successful in the early days where it just shot up, right? Yeah. We need to really lean into that. Do you view it at that? Like, does that get into your bones at all?
I think that whether or not they directed it towards the OGs, it definitely reignites like the pride of owning a CrossFit gym, because it's switching from being like, oh, CrossFit HQ doesn't do anything for us, to being like, oh, you know what? We are a gym full of hardworking people. This stuff is not easy. We've been doing it for a long time. Like, people should know that, like, it's not crazy. It's just hard work. So I do like it for us as affiliate owners, but like Sam was saying, like, why is it not, if we don't feel like it's directed towards new people, like, I mean, I'm already bought in. I'm paying my affiliate fees. 16 years at one and 8 at the other. I don't need marketing. I need someone new to be like, hey, I think I want to try CrossFit. And like Sam said, fitness is clearly growing. I mean, look at like Hyrox, and Hyrox is not easy. That's not easy stuff. That's a long, hard race, and I think our affiliates are the perfect place for those people to train. Like, do CrossFit 3 to 4 days a week, and then go run 2 or 3 days a week, and you're going to be great at it. And you see all the CrossFit Games people that have done Hyrox and just absolutely crush it. But it's like, why aren't we seeing, I mean, if Hyrox has hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people doing it, why are we not seeing more of those people showing up to our doorstep being like, hey, you know what? I want to train this. I want to do lunges, and I want to do sled pushes, and I want to do wall balls in this environment that's really challenging. I mean, we're not seeing it. So, I think it all just comes back to like, is the marketing plan working? And I think for us, it remains to be seen whether or not it's driving new people. We're still kind of only getting new people through our current membership base and referrals.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, I don't want to speak for Sam. I want you to touch on it, because when Sam starts talking about Hyrox in the future, like, he gets pretty excited, and I see why. I mean, I've done 2 actually. And we've had a bunch of people from our gym sign up. Tim, I know you and Aaron did one and absolutely crushed it there. And you personally are a good example. Both of you guys. I don't know. Aaron does she have a track background? Do I remember?
Yeah, she ran the 800 in high school.
Okay, so she's just like, she is, because I've seen her run before. She's a very natural runner. You're not the runner of the house, right? But you and her did a really good job when you guys did your couples one. I remember seeing your post from the New York City one, and it just goes to show, like, you guys are, top 1% fitness level, always have been, but it's a great sign for someone that you were an OG regional competitor, one of the highest level athletes I've ever got to train with and work out with. And you don't train like that anymore, but because you have that training history with CrossFit, you were able to go there and dominate. If I remember correctly, you guys had like the fastest sled push or sled pull.
We were close. Yeah. The sled push, we did really well. We took like 3rd on it. Because Aaron's a savage and was able to move it faster than most of the guys. I was like literally watching her push it, and there was a guy next to her that was just stuck, and she's just moving it. I'm like, oh man, I'm sorry.
But
Yeah, I don't know. I think yeah, High Rocks is just another thing that's just taken off like crazy. And I think the years of doing Karen and sled pushes and all that stuff, like the hardest part for me was the running, clearly.
Yeah.
But every other element, I'm like, oh, we're gonna split a 1K row, like we're splitting 100 wall balls, like this is those things are like 1/10 of a typical workout that you're doing alone in the gym. So the element stuff of High Rocks was like nothing was that bad, right? I mean, burpee broad jumps suck no matter who you are. But the other stuff, it's like, man, I've been doing this for 15 years. Like, why would I be nervous about splitting 100 wall balls or a 1K ski, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think CrossFit's a great foundation for all of the elements that are in High Rocks for sure.
So the elephant in the room is, why are more people that are getting into High Rocks, like you said, not running to a CrossFit affiliate? And my opinion is it is part of the marketing scheme. And I'll even go one further. I've had people tell me this, and we both own gyms that are not exactly Fran and barbells and ring muscle ups. It's just a lot of the movements that you do in CrossFit, people just don't want to do.
Yeah.
And the CrossFit truther will say what? Well, a coach should be a better job at scaling. But then we bring up from the coaching and owner perspective that you can't always control people's feelings. And if people feel like they're losing because they have to change up every workout, whether it's Olympic lifting or bring muscle ups because they're High Rocks focused, they're not going to go. And I think that is part of the reason. I don't want to speak for you, Tim and Aaron, about why you opened Indoor and why it's doing really well and what we're doing with Outlast, that there are certain elements to CrossFit that are just not of interest to a lot of people that want to do this kind of working out. So, Sam, do you think CrossFit, their marketing campaign, should have something in the form of Outlast Indoor, where it's hard work, it's a lot of strength, it's a lot of single leg, it's a lot of endurance type training. We do train VO2 max, we sprint every week, but is that something that CrossFit would probably be better suited to do? Because I'm going to kind of parlay that into something else.
They might, but they're not going to. I think what you said about CrossFit HQ being conceited, or they think they're better than everybody else, we've seen that from their inception, like you said.
Yeah.
And I think they missed the boat hugely in a couple areas in the past. And I think they're repeating those mistakes today. And I don't want to I don't want to crap on CrossFit HQ, but I'm going to. I'm sorry. But like, for example, Rogue was not a huge equipment manufacturer, and had Glassman and CrossFit partnered, gotten some sort of real partnership or equity or grown with them, Rogue is now arguably the company that benefited most from CrossFit and is dominating the equipment industry. And yet CrossFit got nothing from that, nothing. And Rogue is, their invitational is one of the best CrossFit competitions. Yep. Why they did not partner in a more substantial way, either with equity or capital or something, is like, it blows my mind when you look at that as an opportunity. And people have spoken about that. The shutting down of social media by Glassman back in 2019, 2020, whatever it was, terrible marketing that probably it was like an Achilles tear for an athlete. Like, it just hobbled us tremendously. And now with High Rocks, I remember when High Rocks first started growing, and Dave Castro said something like, oh yeah, if we held regional competitions, we'd blow High Rocks away. I remember him saying that in one of his little CrossFit, video chat things. And now look at it. Why we are not co-partnering with High Rocks, where High Rocks gyms are at every High Rocks competition, advertising that this is the way to train, because we all know, you just talked about it, how perfect CrossFit is for High Rocks training. Why did we not get on that boat early? It's because CrossFit's attitude is either, you could say, conceited, or, and I've used this term a lot before for them, uncompromising. They don't want to change anything. They don't want to partner with anyone, and they will tilt at windmills all day. I honestly believe the OG CrossFit HQ guys would rather see 100 truthers than 10,000 hanger-ons, you know, who somehow modify, change, or alter it in some way that they find to be unacceptable from the orthodox CrossFit method.
Yeah.
And so for us as gym owners, we have developed gyms, as you said, that are not exactly CrossFit. They hold CrossFit principles because we are CrossFit OG people, but we also understand that things have to change a little bit. And I don't think CrossFit HQ will ever do that, to answer you, Dave. Like, I don't think they'll ever market. I don't think they're ever going to position themselves in that way. And they've missed the boat with High Rocks, or they are missing the boat. And I think they're going to continue. I don't know whoever's going to buy CrossFit, but I feel like as long as the people are currently there, we're going to have issues. And as local affiliates, like, it doesn't make me feel good.
Yeah, I agree with everything that you said, Sam.
So yeah, I mean, yeah. Anything to add on to that, Tim?
No, I was just, you know, we have 2 affiliates, one's 16 years, one's 8 years, and I've never had a single person from HQ ever reach out, want to visit, want to call, want to talk about anything. And it's like, not that they owe that to me, but it's just kind of like, you know, I'm hanging my hat and making my income on the word CrossFit. And as one of the longest standing affiliates, I've never had a single conversation with anyone, like, just to be like, hey, how are we doing for you?
Right.
Just a quick email from anyone, you know, not a single thing. And I'm like, okay, well, I mean, we built it on our own, like you guys built it on your own. Like, you guys are Bison more than you're CrossFit.
Yep.
We're 908 more than we're CrossFit, for sure.
Yeah.
But that's just, you know, it gets a little frustrating sometimes when they're like, you know, you just think about your particular relationship with HQ and what that means to you as an affiliate owner. And for me, there is zero relationship.
Yeah, and I think also what bothers you and us in that regard a little bit is that you would never do that to a member that's been there for 16 years. Like,
yeah, could you imagine?
I've seen you coach, I've seen your gym, I've seen how tight your community is. I'm impressed by it. Like, even the social stuff that you guys do, like your beach trips, and when you guys host your barbells and beers, like how much that group comes together, and it's impressive. And it's, imagine if you treated them like that, where you didn't know someone's name, or you didn't, you never checked in on someone that's been there for a decade, or you never listened to a suggestion. And that is, I think that there's truth to that. And would they ever go down the path of creating another affiliate type program for someone that doesn't want to do the Olympic lifting, that doesn't want to do all the high level gymnastics, but they want to prepare for High Rocks, and they want to be fit and healthy? Because we know there's a lot of ways to be healthy and fit and exercise. And so I believe that with new ownership, if a sale actually goes down, I don't know what's going on there, it's going to be a really interesting first year or two. And I dare say it probably could be a make or break. And you know, there's competitors lining up to take whatever affiliates are left if something goes bad. Awesome Aliello going to Mayhem. Like, they're ready to strike. And in some ways, you do trust their ability to market and support and build more than CrossFit HQ. And even though I can get behind these statements of, we hate to break it to you, there are no shortcuts, just hard work, right? Again, that's not a CrossFit slogan. That's pretty much, you would find that in any gym. So are there any kind of like thoughts that you guys want to get out there in regard to CrossFit and the marketing or lack thereof in regard to us as affiliate owners? Like, what do we really feel like they need to do, or what would you do if the decision was put in your hands in terms of messaging to the public to help the affiliates grow? Like, what's one thing you wish was out there a little bit more, Tim?
That's a really tough question. I think, you know, Sam touched upon it before. It's like, you know, what if they're not currently marketing towards getting new people in, what should they be doing? And I struggle with that as well. Like, I struggle with what the messaging should be and how it, you know, how they could have current messaging that does influence new people to come into the gym. You know, they, like you said, they tried the whole longevity thing, but, you know, like a grandfather deadlifting 2 milk jugs off the ground, like, I don't think that appealed to a single person. Because to an OG person, you can say, oh yeah, no, well, I understand that there's functional movement and people need to be able to lift stuff off the ground and sit down on the couch and get up. but that is like the antithesis of like the hard work that we're putting in the gym. And even our, 70-year-old members are doing way more than that grandfather deadlifting milk jugs. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I don't know what do you, the three of us are here. What do we think the messaging could possibly be that would literally get someone to be like, you know what? I actually do want to try CrossFit.
Sam.
I got this idea about a week or two ago from a podcast. I don't remember who it was. It was maybe the Two Brain guy, or one of those grow your CrossFit business guys. And there are a million of them out there. Like, there's just so many videos for like how to grow your CrossFit business. But this guy actually, his solution, and I don't think it's wrong, and I wish I could remember his name, was the marketing prescriptive coaching. So it's not about just taking a program or a class, which everybody offers, Barry's Boot Camp, F45, Orange Theory. It's about prescriptive coaching for that particular athlete. So we do that all to a certain degree, right? We're like at Bison, we keep track of who our people are. We talk to them. We sort of try to figure out what's right for them, how many days a week is good for them. Maybe, we do nutrition programming to help them sort of get on track with their lives. And I think the marketing has to be, this isn't some cookie cutter class bullshit. This is us, experienced people, caring about each and every individual person, which leads into the community, which leads into connectedness, whatever you want to call it. But I think the marketing has to be, we're different because we care about every individual. And I know Tim and every coach there, and we do too. We literally talk about every athlete and how they're doing and, what's good or, what's, what could be better. And I don't think a lot of these franchise gyms do any of that. And that's a secret sauce, I think, for a lot of successful CrossFit gyms. And we should market that more.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of like the personal care in a group atmosphere type of slogan, right? Yeah. Right. I mean, we've all talked about that forever too, that's how it is, right? When you come in and you actually get coached, you're getting something that's much closer to, private training, when you actually have a coach that's coming around and is correcting your form, asking how your weekend was, is telling you maybe we shouldn't do that today. Let's do this instead. Like, what's going on with your shoulder? All right, let's do that. So, yeah, if you could bottle up that, I think that's like that could potentially be one area to go down is, hey, personal care in a fun group atmosphere. Don't even make it about whether it's hard or not, or no quick fixes. Don't make people feel bad.
Right.
Say, come, it's like Cheers, come to a place where everyone knows your name, right? Like,
the storytelling component is not a new concept. I think a lot of the CrossFit media guys, Savans and Susan, they're always talking about that. And I do believe in the world that we live in now, the amount of time people spend on their phones and on social media, and they're reading and watching and trying to compare themselves to others, whether that's healthy or not. I think that there could be, I know, Tim, if I said come up with 15 really cool member stories, results, no results, overcame this, came back from that, whatever. It doesn't have to be lost 10 pounds or down 5% body fat, just cool stories from your gym. I bet you and Aaron could come up with 50 in a day. You can come up with that. And then projecting that to people that are looking for something to inspire them, motivate them, re-inspire them, right? I think that's something that we have seen over the years is people that used to be the most motivated and passionate people in the gym, their lives have changed. They kind of lost a little bit. They lost their fastball. They have a hard time coming back because they compare themselves to what they used to do, or they're no longer that person. And I think when you find, I always try when I have a new person in the gym, you get to know them, their story, kind of put them into a tier of all right, they're this kind of athlete, this kind of member, this kind of potential, this kind of goal. I'll look for in the gym in that moment and be like, oh, that person just came back from her second kid. That person works in the morning. She comes at night. She's never, she's always tired, but she gets through it. Because when you can relate to things and people, it makes that decision to walk in the door to a little bit easier. It's no longer a chore. It's no longer a liability. And I think that's where just the normal person stories, I know it's, I could see it on our social media when I make sport-based posts, the open, quarterfinals, semifinals. We have a guy competing in Indiana right now. It gets the most attention, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's the most valuable attention. You know, people just like the sport, but I think the messages of your normal person coming in and couldn't squat to death or couldn't hit 100-pound back squat. Now they're squatting 150 and they look good. They feel good. They're smiling after a workout. They have new friends. Those are the stories I think can actually get people to get over the hump and come in the door.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So if we get hired by CrossFit to be their new marketing managers, this is our first meeting.
Yeah, I'm not going to hold our breath about that one.
Yeah.
Not sure we want it either. But Tim, thanks so much. We're going to have you on again next week. Talk about some fun stuff, maybe some up the roller coasters of being a longtime owner, but also just kind of comparing. Again, I think we just talked about athletes giving their story to inspire potential athletes.
Right.
I think coaches and owners have stories that could help inspire future owners or current owners that need a little kick because, you know, you've been doing this for a long time. And I'm really looking forward to hearing some of the stories of some of the struggles that you had early versus now and what we can anticipate down the road. So thank you guys so much. And we'll see you again next week.
Really appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
All right.
Thank you, everybody, for taking the time out of your day to listen to the Herd Fit podcast. Be on the lookout for next week's episode.